What's up, guys? I'm Joel, and my first car basically looked like this. Now, you might be thinking, Joel, there's no way you're only 25, but I'm telling you the truth. My first car, you can look this up, my first car was a 94 Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra. I mean, it was a grandpa car, but it was pretty legit, and it was a nice car. But we could compare ourselves when our best friend gets like this amazing new 2018 car that we're just like, how is that even possible? So we could compare ourselves here. We could compare ourselves with the technology that we have, right? Hashtag GameCube was the best thing ever invented, ever. We could compare ourselves with this. Man, I only have this, and other people have PS4s, and other people have these game systems and these games, and they're always getting more, and I want that. I can compare myself that way, or maybe it's the clothes that we have. And my camera fell, so I'm gonna put that back up real quick. Maybe it's the clothes that we have. And we could say, man, I never have all the designer stuff. I never have all the things that I want, but one of my friends does. I mean, I just wish that I had that. And we can play this comparison game. In truth, guys, that just hurts us. So what I need you guys to know is that you're not alone. You're not alone in feeling this way, and you're not alone in being the first people to fall into the comparison trap. You can open up to Exodus chapter 16. That is where we're gonna be. I'm sort of just gonna give like an abridged version of it though. But man, I highly recommend, if you guys have not read the story of the Exodus and the Israelites and the changing government and the plagues and God just like inserting himself in human history and leading this group of people away from Egypt, if you have the time, man, you have to read it and check it out. Too soon, right? I guess we all have the time. Too soon. Anyway, so we're gonna be in Exodus 16. And Exodus 16 is 1 month after the Exodus. So God had just delivered all of his people, the Israelites, away from Pharaoh and away from Egypt. So they're finally free. Moses led them out, and all of a sudden you see them start to say things like, man, I wish we were back in slavery. At least we would have food at that point. And it's just like, what just happened? You were slaves. Now you're free, and you're comparing back to the time from when you were slaves? Do you even remember the oppression? Do you even remember the death? Do you even remember like the torturous days of work that you had to endure? No, all the Israelites remembered was they did have food before, and now they don't. That's crazy. And we almost want to like smack them upside the head and be like, do you know what God did for you? He led you out of slavery, out of bondage. How are you even thinking like, I wish we could go back? The truth is, that's the comparison trap talking. Because the Israelites compared what they once had to what they have now, and they let their comparison kill their contentment. And so I want you guys to remember that. I mean, don't let your comparison kill your contentment, because that's what it does. It just destroys your ability to feel content or your ability to feel at peace with that situation. We can get trapped into feeling like things could always be better, right? If only this happened, if only this happened, if only my family acted this way, if only that quarantine was over, finally, then I would reach this place where I would finally feel content. But the truth is that if we keep comparing ourselves to other people, we're not going to feel content. In the second half of the Bible, we find a guy named John. John was actually one of Jesus's closest disciples, one of Jesus's best friends when he was on earth. And John wrote a book, and it's one of the Gospels, one of the basically written works about the life of Jesus. And in this book, we see another disciple talking about John to Jesus. And we see this sort of comparison trap happening. Peter turned and saw that the disciple whom Jesus loved was following them. This was the one who had leaned back against Jesus at the supper and had said, "Lord, who is going to betray you?" When Peter saw him, he asked, "Lord, what about him?" Jesus answered, "If I want him to remain alive until I return, what is that to you? You must follow me." And so we see Peter talking to Jesus, and he's basically saying, man, why does this disciple not have to die for you? Why does this disciple not have to go to this place? Why aren't you talking to this disciple about everything? And he's comparing himself to this disciple, and Jesus immediately almost shuts it down. And I love what Jesus says at the end. He says, "You must follow me." It's almost like, what does it matter? Just follow me. And that's great wisdom for right now. Don't look over here. Don't look at these people who you think are like the best family in the world. Don't look at them. Look at Jesus. Follow Jesus. What does it mean to follow Jesus during that time? Man, you cannot stand. Why does that person who has so much money always get the best stuff before you? They have to rub it in your face. Man, don't compare yourself to them. What does it look like for you to follow Jesus? But their family is just so good, and they're always together, and they're having fun, and they're smiling. Look at all the pictures on social media. Listen, don't compare yourself to them. What does it look like for you to follow Jesus in your circumstances, in your situations? Also, side note on social media, it might be time to give up social media. Dun dun dun! But seriously, it might be time to give up social media, because that is one of the biggest ways that we fall into the comparison trap. Are you telling me that I can compare myself anytime to any person, anywhere? Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. You can do that through social media. Maybe it's time to take a break from that, and maybe that's how we stop falling into the comparison trap. Another thing you could do is journal. Man, from this Wednesday to next Wednesday, I'm gonna write down 2 things every single day that I'm grateful for. What has Jesus given me? How has Jesus blessed me? Even though when I compare myself to those people, it might seem like I have less, that's not true. What has Jesus blessed me with, right? What are we grateful for? So maybe between this Wednesday and next Wednesday, take time to write 2 things down each day that you're grateful for. And so how can you best follow Jesus this week, this month, this year? How can you best follow Jesus when instead of comparing yourself to other people, you find the contentment and you find the joy and you find the life that Jesus brings to each and every one of us? Hope you guys have a great week. I'll see you later.